And so Canada's newest unelected Prime Minister, Mark Carney, the former central banker in residence, has officially unveiled his cabinet. But don't mistake this for a government in waiting. It's a message, a pre-election commercial, a LinkedIn portfolio update disguised as national leadership. Because just 1 week after forming this cabinet, Carney had to dissolve Parliament to call an election. So what's the point? In practical terms, not much. This wasn't a long-term governing team. It was a placeholder. But in political terms, it wasn't meaningless. This cabinet was Carney's opening argument, a brand launch, a statement of intent. The goal, reassure markets, donors, centrists, and anyone else still suffering from Trudeau fatigue that the grown-ups are back in charge. Under Trudeau, the Liberals govern like a lifestyle brand, all photo ops, pride floats, and curated Instagram vibes. The Mark Carney Liberals are different, less sunny ways and more Q4 investor confidence. This cabinet wasn't built to inspire voters, it was built to manage risk. It's not about vision. It's about messaging. Fewer ministers, 24 instead of 38. Titles that sound like job postings. Metrics like efficiency and lean government, replacing rhetoric about inclusion or social justice. The vibe, corporate governance with the Canadian flag slapped on the header. So who's in? Take Francois-Philippe Champagne, now finance minister. Diplomatic polish, Bay Street resume, and the rhetorical style of someone who thinks in spreadsheets, similar to Carney. Melanie Joly stays as foreign affairs minister because they have to slap a pretty face on the person who has to pretend like we're somehow a peaceful or neutral nation. Chrystia Freeland, meanwhile, gets demoted to transport. A brutal come down from the former deputy PM and a quiet erasure of the Trudeau-era ambition. There are new faces too. Hand-picked allies like Ariel Kayabaga, who takes over democratic institutions and is expected to sell this corporate pivot as democratic renewal. Overall, missing from the lineup is really any remnant of ideological pluralism. Mark Miller, the white guy who learned Mohawk, he's gone. Anthony Housefather, the unofficial ambassador for Netanyahu's war cabinet, he's gone. Stephen Guilbeault, the environmentalist who approved more pipelines than policy, he's out as Minister Environment for, what is the title? Minister of Canadian Culture and Identity, Parks Canada, and Quebec Lieutenant. Lord. And most notably, there's no one holding the disability inclusion, diversity, or gender equality files. And it seems like because those are portfolios that drew, fire from centrist right of center. And apparently polling trouble in places like Alberta are the result of that. So the message is pretty clear. Inclusion is fine until it costs us votes. And this is the Liberal project rebranded. Carney's cabinet didn't exist to pass legislation. It existed to say, we're not the Trudeau Liberals anymore. But the punchline is that they pretty much are, right? The same MPs, the same lobbyists, the same party donors, the same party structure. What's changed is just the aesthetic. The substance, very much still waiting in the wings. This is definitely not some type of social project. It's a management philosophy. Gone is the performative progressivism, and in its place is this new corporate sobriety, resilience, stability, governance by spreadsheet. And let's not forget that Carney doesn't even have a seat in Parliament. He's governing from nowhere. He's Canada's CEO, Prime Minister, dialing into caucus calls like a consultant with security clearance. That's part of why this election was inevitable, not just because it was constitutionally inevitable, but because governing but from behind the curtain only works for so long. Eventually, you have to step into the spotlight and ask for permission, ask for a mandate. So yes, obviously this cabinet was very short-lived, but it still mattered. It was Carney's sale pitch. I'm not here to inspire, I'm here to stabilize. And obviously the election is going to decide if that pitch actually sells.